Judges at ringside, Eric Cheek, Tim Cheatham, and Lisa Giampa. And the man in charge, Vic Draculich. Fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 140.2 pounds, wearing green trunks with gold trim. He brings a record of 2-0 to the ring, one win coming by way of knockout from Stanton, California, Victor Rodriguez. Fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 140.7 pounds, wearing red trunks with black trim. He has a record of no wins and one loss. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Justin Horsley.
All right, gentlemen, this fight's scheduled for 4 rounds. I want to caution you again. Any punch below this area is going to be called low. Any punch below this area will be called low. That said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you.
Guys, I got great respect for Justin Horsley as an athlete, as a fighter, but he is very limited as a boxer. This is a guy who was a very good college wrestler, a guy who has been in a few MMA fights, but limited exposure as a boxer. Meanwhile, Vic Rodriguez is a guy who's been in camps with Ray Beltran, Alex Saucedo.
You know, these are the toughest guys to fight, though, Joe, if you're a young fighter coming up. You know, just like we saw in the Kaminsky Collard fight, it's like, even if you're fighting a guy who has better skill, but you both are polished, you got certain things to worry about, but then you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff right there. Guys lunging in, breaking all the rules, throwing awkward punches that you didn't train for. It's a dangerous part, a dangerous point in a young fighter's career early on like this, fighting guys like this.
Yeah, Tim, and we saw how good Clay Collard was earlier in terms of just the ruggedness and the work rate, but he has far more boxing experience than what we see with Horsley. They actually are training together here.
But you can tell Horsley been working. You know, watching him on film, you know, he was wild when I first seen him, you know, in his first fight. But you can tell that he's been working a lot in the gym because he's calm, he's patient, and he's trying to set up his punches. You can see that he's had some tendencies of Collard rushing in the way he's rushing in behind his punches with his body and also his head. You know, right now, I'm going to let you guys know that there's a possibility there could be a head clash because we have the southpaw versus the orthodox fighter, and you have a fighter like Horsley that's rushing in behind his head, lunging forward. It's an easy situation for a head clash.
Good work from Rodriguez as he was catching Horsley coming in, and then gave him a little something on the exit as well.
I like that test.
Rodriguez just 19 years old. Made his pro debut in December of last year. Been boxing since he was 5 years old. Trained by his dad, Jose. There's a right hand from Rodriguez. End of one between these two, scheduled for 4.
Introducing the new Impossible Burger Sandwich.
This is planned?
Footwork.
Yeah, when you're facing the Horsleys of the world, this is how you tame them. It's not with the hands, it's with the feet. We see Rodriguez demanding where the fight is going to be fought. He allows Horsley to stumble over his feet. He counters. He didn't really land cleanly, but he let Horsley know that if you make a mistake, I'm coming back with the punch.
Round 2, 4-round fight here. Horsley's second pro fight as a boxer. He's also done some MMA. Rodriguez, long amateur fighter, and now 2-0 as a pro fighter. And then we will have Gabe Flores coming up in moments in our main event. 17-0, 20-year-old Gabe Flores from Stockton, California. There's a right hand from Rodriguez, working behind the jab. Scott Van Pelt will be coming up once we get done with our main event from Vegas.
I have to say something. You know, Horsley's trying to throw feints. He's using his jab. He's switching stance in front of his opponent, trying to confuse him. You know how hard it is to get young fighters to feint nowadays? And this is a man who don't have a lot of experience, and at least he's trying to do the right thing.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And he's been working with his trainer, Ryan Alt, very well up in Burley, Idaho. He talked to us about it, of how much time he's putting into it and the effort he's putting into trying to learn the sweet science at the next level.
Yeah, Tim, I'll give Horsley an E for effort, but it's not effective tonight because Rodriguez is being disciplined. He's punching like that. He's landing clean shots, but he's not allowing Horsley to get him into his game. And that's how you beat a guy like this who's wild and doesn't have the typical boxing style. You dictate with your feet first, then with your hands how the fight is going to be fought.
See the success that Rodriguez continues to have.
You're leaving your hands out there, Horse. You're leaving your hands out there, Horse. That's why.
Pressure him with that right hand again. And there it is, straight right that split the guard from Rodriguez.
I just like it because it's just so clean. He knows he has a difficult guy in front of him. You know, something that he probably wouldn't see in the gym. But I just love the calmness of Victor Rodriguez. I love his calmness.
Yeah, lean on your fundamentals when this is what you're in against. And you're descriptive of him being clean, dead on. End of 2.
Love it.
Victor Rodriguez in complete control against Justin Horsley as we start round number 3. He's landed 31 punches to Horsley's 8. Let's check in with Mark Kriegel.
It's always hard for a real boxer to fight an awkward guy like this, but Rodriguez is doing what Kaminsky should have done, and some of it comes from being really tested and sparring against the likes of Mesacito Hesta, Ray Beltran, and the guy we'll be seeing at the end of the month, Alex Salcedo.
Mentioned David Kaminsky, who Bernardo gave us the report. He's off to the hospital for observation. He was in tough against Clay Collard earlier tonight, suffering a split decision loss. Bernardo, what are you hearing ringside?
Jose Rodriguez's father told Victor, look, after you throw the jab, hook to the jaw with the right hand and just don't get crazy. Continue to use your right hand and just stay within your fundamentals.
Yeah, just managing things with a superior fundamental technique.
And I like Rodriguez's fundamentals, you know. Can you lose this jab? Using the right hand against the southpaw. Very calm. Not getting hit with silly things. Very under control. One place that I would say I would like to see Victor go to is down to the body. Because as you go later in rounds, as he continues to move forward, he's going to have to break these guys down because he's going to be tested in fighting against guys just like himself. Guys that can actually fight.
Lowering your hands, too, right. You're lowering your hands every time.
Punch it back there.
Going from the chin, hard and fast.
Rodriguez can really step it up if he wanted to and inflict a lot more damage on Horsley. He's in total control. Horsley's not, giving him any type of resistance. I'm not saying go crazy, but Rodriguez can step it up and get some shots through. He's already hurt Horsley with some good right hands in this round.
He did again there. Perhaps we see more of that in the 4th and final round.
Tighten him up. Tuck your chin. Keep lowering him before you throw him. There you go. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Go, go, go. Yeah.
Hatch Air 901 got hyped about Popeye's new $5 Buffalo Ranch tenders.
Fourth and final round, and it's just been steady work from the superior skill of Victor Rodriguez against Justin Horsley. We come to the conclusion of this fight, and it'll set the table for our main event when we get to see Gabe Flores and Josec Ruiz. Glad you're with us here for our second of 3 live fight cards this week on ESPN. We had our Tuesday action, which was the upset of Josh Greer, Mike Plania with a very good performance on that night. Tonight, and then Emmanuel Navarrete from Mexico City Saturday night.
Joe, there's a point in the fight when a young fighter, like we've been talking about all night, really is when you establish the ring and understand who you're fighting and, you know, try to time them and all those different things, being responsible as a young fighter. But then it comes a time when you step it up and you let a guy know that he doesn't belong in a ring with you, and Victor Rodriguez could do that right now.
Right here, you should make him pay. There you go, that's too wild, that's why. Go a little more, sharper, let's go, baby, sharper. Halfway there.
Gotcha, I'm coming in again.
Nice little step back counter. Yeah, nice step back counter from Rodriguez.
Rodriguez is landing those shots cleanly is because he's staying under his feet. He's always in position. So when Horsley gets out of position, Rodriguez doesn't allow himself to get out of position. He just turns the shot over, resets, and starts all over.
But the only problem is that all his punches are at the head. There's nothing up. There's nothing going down to the body. So that's something that he can go back in the gym and work on and add to his craft.
Absolutely.
Right hand hitting the target.
I can tell you one thing that I'm really impressed with Rodriguez is he's always maintaining that distance. You know, occasionally he'll fall in like that, but he pretty much controls the distance pretty well.
Come on, horse. Keep the timing, baby. Finish strong. Finish strong. There you go. You've been doing that the whole time.
Horsley's got a sneaky overhand and straight left hand that he's been landing periodically.
Go. 5. Go.
And Rodriguez able to get out of the way of those potential lottery tickets from Horsley as he controlled throughout. We'll hear from the judges in just a little next week. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN, the Summer Series, Return of Boxing.
And Conference Center, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges have it exactly the same, 40-36, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Victor Rodriguez.
So Victor Rodriguez with his trainer Jose Rodriguez, now 3-0. And guess who's next? It is time for Gabe Flores.